Welcome. In front of me I have the newly released TCL 20 5G model, and today I'll go over unboxing along with an overview of this phone. So let's start off by actually opening it up. Now packaging is quite okay. We got in here, we got some casing along with the paperwork. Just gonna get that out. Throw away the paperwork, and we got the case, which I can just place to the side. Then we got the phone in here. Okay, so there it is. Then in here we got the cable, so it's a Type C to Type A. You can hopefully see there is the Type C, and there's the Type A. And also inclusion on headphones with rubber tips, also really nice. And then we got the charger. Now the charger probably here is the weakest part of this, so let's see, this is gonna be 10-watt charger, which is a little bit disappointing, but still can't really complain much considering they actually included a charger with their device. Okay, so let's turn on the phone. There we go. So while it's turning on, I'm going to quickly go over the display right here. So this has a 6.67 inch display. It's a 1080p by 2400 IPS display. It comes with apparently HDR10, but it's not HDR10 plus, so it's not actual certification, just so you know. And that is because this device peaks at 450 nits, so kind of hard to have HDR plus certification with this kind of peak brightness. And additionally, it has a 84.2% screen to body ratio and 395 pixels per inch, which honestly it's fairly decent. So I'm gonna quickly go over the setup right here, and you can actually see the screen to body ratio right here. The bezels are fairly minimal. They're not as good as they are on the 20 Pro version of this device, which has curved display and just an overall better display itself, which a little bit of shame that you don't have that here, but still this device is cheaper than the Pro version of it, so can't really complain. Okay, let's just skip this and finish up, and there we go. So you can now see the display. Now this is not max brightness, just so you know. This would be maxed out brightness, and right now it's a little bit too bright for the camera, so I'm gonna tone it down. There we go, this looks okay, I would say. So anyway, let's flip it over to the cameras right here. So we have a triple camera setup right at the back. We have a 48 megapixel wide sensor, then we got an 8 megapixel ultra wide and 2 megapixel macro. So we basically have at least one sticker camera right here, which is the 2 megapixel macro. It's going to be an utter garbage. I already tried it on the Pro version and it sucked, so this is the downgraded version of it, which it's also going to suck, just probably a little bit more. Now, just so you know, the Pro version of this device does have basically the same main shooter, which is a 48 megapixel wide sensor. It has a 16 megapixel ultra wide instead of the 8, so it's cut in half here. And it also has macro and depth sensor. This one only comes with macro, no depth sensor. The ultra wide might be okay in certain cases. Don't expect a super high pixel count on those. It is only an 8 megapixel sensor. Macro is unusable, don't even bother with it. You will get better results with the 48 megapixel wide sensor, or not wide, yeah, wide sensor as a main shooter, and then just zooming in the photo. So just so you can actually see what I mean, I'm gonna quickly grab my plant right here, and I'm gonna start off by capturing, let's see, I'm gonna go with the first macro. For some reason it's really weirdly colored, Not sure if you can see this on the camera, but it has this like super warm tone to it, a little bit too warm. Okay, so this is the macro, and I'm gonna capture the high pixel, which is gonna be the 48 megapixel wide sensor. Okay, so we're gonna start off the photos with the wide one. As you can see, it's further away, but as you can see also, you can zoom it in and still have some kind of image right here. It's actually not that bad. It's also not great, just so you know. Now if we move to this one, oh boy, this is as close as I can get to the plant before. If you go any closer, it's gonna come out blurry. But as you can see, it's already trash. This is actually, even though both of them had 2 megapixel macros, this is the worst macro I have seen so far, no matter what the device was. Hands down, the worst one. And just so I can kind of compare it, I took basically also a macro shot of the same plant just before this phone with my device. This is the Mate 20 Pro. It's basically right now like what, 3-year-old device, if not more. And just so you can see the comparison, let's just put the phone down. This is a macro on a 3-year-old phone that actually came with a good macro setup. So right now, this is the entire photo that it captured. I can get way closer to the plant. And boy oh boy, when you zoom in, you can basically see like individual like strands of whatever this is. And obviously the needles, which start to look like needles. And yeah, so clearly you can be the judge which one has better macros. This is max zoom, by the way. So there is not much comparison between those two photos in terms of macros. So sorry for that. So yeah, like I said, sticker cameras all the way here. It's basically shameless nowadays. Almost every company does this, and honestly, I just despise this. It's such a cheap way to try to make your device look better. Just make a good device and stop including just absolute garbage cameras. It's just insulting. So yeah, let's move out of those and move to the front, which comes with an 8 megapixel wide sensor. Again, nothing special here. Basically, the back cameras, recording wise, you can record at 4K 30 frames, and if you drop it to 1080p, it records at 30 and 60 frames. And the front one here records only at 1080p 30 frames and nothing higher in terms of frame rate nor resolution. So now moving on to the actual processor and additional specs of this device. It comes with a Snapdragon 690, which is a 5G chipset. So you are getting the 5G connectivity on this device. It has a couple different storage options. So we have 128 and 256 gigabyte storage with 6 gigabytes RAM. Let me quickly make sure that is correct. Because I am thinking it's a little bit, yep, no, never mind. I'm just making sure that my info that I wrote down is correct. Okay, so I believe it is. So yeah, it has a 128 and 256 gigabyte storage, 6 gigs RAM, UFS 2.1, and also okay, now I'm most certainly certain that it's not correct. Let me quickly make sure, because I have some info that I think I just messed up with the 20 Pro version of it. So just quickly go in and check it out. This is not necessarily the most typical video, so see TCL No, okay, so they basically overlap. They have a lot of similar specs. That's why it's looking a little bit confusing to me. So apparently it charges quicker than the charger actually can charge. Let's see. Yeah, so it has a quick charge supposedly at 18 watts, but the charger you get is 10 watts. So that's why I'm kind of getting confused here. The decision of doing such a thing is not very normal, I would say. Okay, so anyway, let's just continue this and finish it up. So we have UFS 2.1 storage, not necessarily the best one, but still fairly decent, more than I would expect. If you're not sure what that is basically read and write speeds of a storage that comes with the device. And the reason you want, for instance, higher one, as when you're trying to copy data onto the device or off of it, the copying, if you have the better type of storage, it will do it quicker. And also when it comes down to video recording at higher pixel counts and also editing, it will be done quicker with a better storage type. Now additionally, it comes with a 4500 mAh battery, like I mentioned before, the 18 watt charger, charging, which charger is only 10 watts. Has quick charge 4.0 plus certification, and additionally it has apparently NFC and fingerprint on the side, as you can see right here. Now usually those fingerprints are blazing fast on the side. I'm gonna quickly add my finger just so you can see how well it does it. Security, and let's go confirm. And now I can add the fingerprint. I just select the device. As you can see, the fingerprint works really fast. The phone is a little bit slower on that aspect. And additionally, you don't actually need to press the power button, you just need to touch it to unlock the device, which again works fairly quickly. The fingerprint sensor works better than the actual phone, because I believe it's the processor is struggling with basically unlocking the device as quick as the fingerprint sensor can scan your finger. So anyway, lastly, what I'll basically mention here is the price of this device, which it comes at about 300 euros. And honestly, for the price right here, I don't know if it's worth it. It's missing a lot of the features. A lot of the things that it comes with are not necessarily the greatest. The cameras are just serviceable, mediocre at best. I really wouldn't probably want to use them. The screen right here, nice pixel count, but honestly nowadays I would consider this to be fairly outdated. To be fair, this device was released at like December 2020, so it's already like half a year older device, but still would really like to see higher refresh rate for 300 euros, or for instance an AMOLED display. Any of those two would be amazing. So yeah, if you're trying to go for a decent and cheap device, this one might actually not be the best option here. I probably would go with something like a Xiaomi. If you're planning to spend a little bit more and go with a TCL, you could go with the Pro version of it, which bears a lot of resemblance to this in terms of specifications, but it does have an improved processor, under finger display sensor, wireless charging, and a bunch of other neat features that make the device just seem way better value, in my opinion, as an AMOLED display with a curved screen, along with just a better charging speeds, and overall it just has a lot of better aspects, minus the cameras. Cameras are almost the same, although the macro there does a better job than this one. So yeah, at the end of the day, I don't think I would recommend this device. It seems like it's a little bit too expensive for what you're getting, and there are most certainly better alternatives from Xiaomi if you want to go with that brand, and if not, then I would probably recommend you to go for the upgraded version of this, because I don't think this phone right here is worth 300 euros. So anyway, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.